So here's the scene. You're talking to somebody that you're doing business with, whether it be at a workplace, whether you're looking for a new apartment, or even something personal, right? You're trying to ask a girl out on a date, or a family member. You're trying to make arrangements for visiting your family member after the pandemic is over, obviously. And you're talking to this person that you're trying to negotiate something with. And in your mind, you're thinking one thing, and the other person opens their mouth, and within 5 words, you can already tell that they are barking up the wrong tree. What do you do? Well, I have a suggestion to you. Listen to that plan. It might even go better, or you might learn something that you wouldn't have gotten. See, I used to make this mistake. I would be talking to somebody, and I would be curious about, let's say, I'm an adjunct professor, so let's say that I'm looking at a course that I want to teach, or I want to talk about experiences that I gained during the pandemic. I went to 3 conferences remotely during this pandemic, and let's say I'm talking to my dean, and she already misunderstands the kind of conferences that I went to. She thought it was the conference I went to was on artificial intelligence or machine learning. Let's say she misinterprets it and thinks it's computer graphics, right? It can happen. Well, what do? You let her finish, because as she's talking away, very easily a concession could come into play, right? Or something you didn't know might come into play, right? So earlier today, I was negotiating with another Airbnb that I hope to stay after we go back to phase 2 here in Seattle, because I have some liberty to do that. I have a couple students. I do private tutoring. I have a couple students that I love to meet in person. We can't do that anymore now that we're in phase 2. So now I have some liberty to think about where I spend my time. My lease on Airbnb ends if I don't extend it on Wednesday. I'll have to think if I want to extend this one or if I want to look at the other Airbnb. So I call the Airbnb in Central Washington, and within a couple sentences, I realized something was wrong, because he was quoting what the rate would be for 2 weeks. And I really resisted the temptation to interrupt, saying, wait, 2 weeks is not going to work. That would have been what I would have done in the past. I really resisted the temptation to do that really hard, believe it or not. But it was very much worth it. Not just for this one negotiation, but in general to practice this idea of holding that thought. I find one thing that sometimes helps me is I'll get some pen and paper as I'm talking, and I'll jot down what I was planning to interrupt with. It works better if it's over the phone, right? Actually, you can kind of do it in a face-to-face meeting as well. And I will jot that down so that I can stop worrying that I'll forget what it is and take in the what the other side is saying, right? Anyways, he started to go on and on about the place, which is nice because it helped me pick up a few subtle clues. I don't always get along with the owners of Airbnbs, and sometimes those subtle clues about what the owner cares about or what his setting might be like. Sometimes the owners have problems with me. I have high-functioning autism, and sometimes I get a little bit forgetful, right? I make a mess and I don't realize it. Sometimes people are just crazy about that, right? And then I have problems with owners who like to use air fresheners or other chemicals around the place. See, these things are not easy to open up about, right? But sometimes you get subtle clues when somebody is talking nonstop about their habits or about... See, if he starts complaining about how his previous tenant left a mess, or if he complains about his tenant who bringing a girlfriend over to the place, I know that's not going to be a problem for me. Then I realize that he has priorities that are more in line with me, right? So sometimes I let the owners run their mouth because it opens up a window to their minds, right? And but I'm so pleased at myself that I didn't interrupt. So after he finishes, and I realize that we're somewhat compatible, right? Because he actually told me that his place might be a little bit of a mess because This is a busy. He's just wrapping up a busy season. Why don't I come by after? You said that the busy season would end on the week of the 17th, and I said that's fine. And so after he finished all that, then I said everything sounds good. I'm a little bit worried about the 2 weeks though. I was hoping for something a little bit more long term. Oh, he said that's fine as well. See, had I interrupted at the beginning, I might not have gained all that information that I did, right? I might have had to go there to see what it was like, and save a lot of hassle, right? And plus, I didn't use up, if you will, that bargaining chip, right? There's only so much you can say, right? If you're interrupting by the fact that 2 weeks aren't going to work, you're not haggling the deal at the end, and I like to think of it as there's a limited number of things you can ask for, and whether or not something's important before you ask for it.